Hi, Tom.
Hi there.
My question was, you were saying, what was it? Like you can have the love with the teachings, but you can't have the teachings without love, or something like that. So like the love being the most important one.
Yes.
And I personally don't feel much of that calling to the rituals and the bhakti side of things, but I do feel a love coming up like spontaneously. So I'm just wondering if you have any tips on how to I don't know, invoke more of that love in terms of approaching the teachings. Yeah.
That's a great question. That's a great question, a practical question. And something I resonate very strongly with, because for many years, actually, the love devotion aspect of the teaching wasn't there in me at all. And sometimes I felt very happy about that and kind of superior, because I didn't have that kind of love. And I felt I was more dispassionate, objective, and scientific, and that was a good thing. And at other times I felt envious that I didn't have this kind of devotion. And many times I didn't think about it too much at all. But if some sort of love, gratitude, happiness comes up spontaneously, then that's great, because that's an opening. So one thing you can do is just allow those natural openings to occur more and more, right? Second thing is that you'll hear me talk a lot about love and appreciation for Ramana Maharshi, who is my guru. But love and devotion and gratitude doesn't have to be for that. That's what it is for me. But for you, it can be whatever you feel love for or gratitude towards. Now, I should point out here that these things are the same: love, gratitude, happiness, devotion. They're all actually the same thing, just different aspects of the same thing. So when you feel happy, that is love. When you feel full inside, fullness, that is love. When you feel gratitude, thanks, thankfulness, that is love. When you feel appreciation and awe and wonder, that is also an aspect of love. If you feel moved or stirred in some way, right, that is also love. Another word that is a synonym for love, gratitude, and happiness is faith. Now, it may not be obvious that faith and gratitude and happiness and love are the same thing. They are. They're the same thing. And if you have any kind of faith or trust in anything spiritual, then my advice is, again, just to nurture it, just to allow it to flower and grow. This part of the teaching, devotion, love, bhakti, as it's called in Sanskrit, bhakti, it can't be taught in a linear way. Like you can teach mathematics, or you can teach grammar. Love cannot be taught in a linear way, but it's a natural aspect of what we are, and it can be guided and allowed to blossom and bloom and flower in its own time. So many people, especially if you come from a more secular upbringing, or you've rejected or you turned away from organized religion and organized theistic views, theologies, and things like this, if you turned away from that kind of thing, or you're put off by that, or you just weren't brought up in that, another way in is through gratitude. Most people can feel gratitude thanks to something or someone. Or if you can universalize it, some power, like the universe. I give thanks to the universe. That's what I used to do. I could say I couldn't give thanks to God because I didn't believe in God. I couldn't give thanks to Guru because I didn't like the idea of a guru, to be honest. But I could somehow, for some reason, Tom was able to give thanks to the universe. He could take that leap, you know. He could say, well, thank you, universe. And from there, it all started. So whatever happiness, fullness, faith, love, movement in your heart, in your emotional center you have, just allow this to grow. Don't, and positively nurture it. Don't ignore it. Don't turn away from it. It's very important. If you have some kind of feeling, sometimes I call it spiritual feeling. If you have some kind of spiritual feeling, again, this is the same thing as love and devotion. It will grow if you allow it to, in its own time. Does that resonate with you at all, George, or is that helpful to you in any way? And if it isn't, please say it isn't.
Yeah, that definitely resonates with me. Like, I think when I'm quiet and when I'm going within and just allowing that to nurture itself, I think that's best for me. But it's just like when I've tried to like, I feel like I can't force it. Like, I've tried, like for example, where I'm staying now, they do certain rituals and things, and I just feel like I'm faking it, and it just doesn't feel authentic to me. But I think, yeah, I think what you're saying, if I just allow it when it is there. Yeah.
Exactly. And if it's any consolation, I still feel that way now. Like sometimes I'll go to places and I'm just not feeling it, you know. For me, devotion is very personal, you know. So you know, some sort of mass demonstrations of devotion, sometimes I resonate with that, but often I'm not into it, you know. It's personal. And just because I'm not into it, just because Tom's not into it, doesn't mean someone else can't be, and it's not right for them, and vice versa. You know, my devotion nowadays is very quiet. I don't even often like to sing or chant or anything like that, you know, because in sort of Eastern spirituality, Eastern religion, Eastern philosophy, they'll often do a lot of chanting. And, you know, I love chanting, but often I don't feel like chanting. You know? A lot of people feel very moved by the photos of their guru. For example, photos of Bhagwan Ramana. And I have photos of him around the house. But often I don't really feel drawn to looking at them at all. I don't like to look at them. Well, that's not quite right. It's not I don't like to look at them. It's I don't feel drawn to look at them. I prefer to, if I want to look anywhere, I look within. And he's there. And the photo can be a distraction sometimes. Other times, that same photo, which was a distraction, can be something that helps me align with him, you see? So the same practice, the same external thing, your relationship with it can change. Sometimes it's good to fake it a bit and see if that can awaken something in you, you know? But other times it won't. So I know my devotional path is a very personal one. Sometimes it was very dramatic, where I would collapse on the floor and, you know, pray and cry, very dramatic, you know. And other times, it's just stillness, like at the beginning of this meeting, where we had that stillness, that silence. That's devotion as well. One thing I've noticed is people who tend not to have much resonance with devotion tend to be intellectual types and tend to have relatively busy minds and tend to have stopped feeling their feelings. And that was very much me when I was younger. You know, I had feelings, I had emotions, but I was very much in my head. And as my thoughts quieted down, as I calmed down, I got more in touch with my heart, which is kind of, I think, what you described a bit, George, just now. So that feeling you have, that is love, that is devotion. You may not call it love, devotion. You don't have to call it love, devotion. That spiritual feeling, whatever you, it'd be interesting if you find a word that you like to call it. That's it. That's how I talk. I just find words that I like. And I encourage everybody to do the same. Find your own vocabulary that you like. Doesn't matter if I don't like it or someone else doesn't like it or someone else says it wrong. You find your vocabulary. I think that's very helpful too. What do you think of that, George?
Yeah, quite like that. I guess like because the love I feel, maybe devotion isn't the word that suits it, because it doesn't feel like it's at one object. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But maybe that'll change. You know.
What is it? What word would you use? Do you know?
I haven't thought about it. I don't know. It's more of a wide opening sort of, and it's definitely felt right there and like centered deep and like, I don't know. It's hard to describe.
That's it. That's it. Allow that to come. Allow it to grow. If it blossoms into a personal devotion, so be it. If it doesn't, that's fine too. That's it.
Thank you so much, Tom.
We did that at the same time. See, this is love and devotion as well. I don't know what this means for you, but for me, this means love, gratitude, respect, honoring. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And some people come here, they don't like to do this, which is fine. No one has to do this. I like to do this. Doesn't mean you have to do it. Yeah, this isn't a cult. If you come here and you see everyone doing this, oh my gosh, is this a cult? No, it's not a cult. You can do it if you want to. What? That's love. That's appreciation. That's respect. That's devotion too. And that's how what I feel towards Bhagwan.
Yeah, I like this when I'm here, actually, not the rest of the time.
What do you mean?
Like doing, like, you know, just feeling that it feels natural to me when I'm in these meetings.
Yes.
Yeah.
But not when you're not in the meetings?
Yeah, not when I'm not in them, yeah.
Interesting. See if you can carry that same spirit. Again, it's just something you can play with. See if you can carry that same, when you meet somebody, like a friend, hey, how you doing? Inside, you can do that. You don't have to do it externally. You know, people might think you're a bit strange or whatever, or they might not. But inwardly, you can do it. That is love. That is devotion. That's another way. We can bow to everything in life. Yeah, our friends, our foes. Not that there are really any foes, but you know, we might think there are things that are against us or people that are against us. Thank you, George.